Welcome back to the channel. My name is a-bomb. We are back with Football Manager 2020 and the final episode of A Deal with the Devils with Manchester United. As you can see, the league has been done and dusted. I've played the final two games off camera. We'll go through those results and what happened in those in a little bit. But as you can see, first place, 98 points, only 2 losses, 5 draws all season. We have been on an insane unbeaten run since the start of December. It's been going extremely well. And we win the league by 10 points in the end. Manchester City kind of not ending very well. 4 losses, 7 draws. We had like 4 games in hand over them at one point, and things ended up going very well. Liverpool finished 3rd on 82. Spurs far behind them, 4th on 67. Bournemouth had a great season, but they missed out on the Champions League, just not getting enough points. Wolves get the 5th place at Europa League spot. I'm not sure if 6th and 7th will get the Europa League spots as well, not too sure. Leeds, West Brom, and surprisingly Leicester finished bottom of the table in a shocking result, that is. Chelsea down in 8th, Arsenal in 7th. There's been some big surprises in this league season. But we are champions, back-to-back Premier League titles after our convincing win in our first season, where I think we got the record, 102 points, with 3 draws and 2 defeats. We lost the same amount of games this season, but 5 draws meant that we finished just behind last season. But back-to-back league titles, I cannot complain at all. If you have enjoyed this series, please do drop a like on the video and leave comments. If you haven't done so already, or if you're new, do consider subscribing and turning on notifications, because at the end of this video, I'm going to reveal some details about my brand new save and some videos that are going to be coming out over the next week. Bit of a prelude, a bit of a precursor to those, to the new series. So look out for those. But this episode, we're going to go through those 2 games we played off camera, and we're going to sort of recap the past couple of seasons and just have a look back at an enjoyable save. As a Liverpool fan, like, I wasn't sure how this was going to go, but it's been really enjoyable actually. Like, I did a save with Everton a few years ago, which was really one of my favourite saves that I've ever done, just because like the team was really good, and I did get Everton a league title in that one. But Man United, like, it didn't need a lot of work. Like, United haven't got a good squad, but I managed to get the best out of the players that I have. I got some really good players, like people like some strikers, some good defenders. I think we've done really, really well. So last episode we played 2 games. We beat Liverpool 2-0 at Old Trafford. Rashford and Dalot scoring there. And then it was a emphatic 4-0 win away against a very poor Bournemouth side, who, like I said, just missed out on the Champions League. Haaland with 2 goals, a no goal from Fraser and a goal from Havertz. We won our final 2 games. First up was a narrow 1-0 win at St Mary's against Southampton. A very plucky side. They did end with 10 men as well, but only 1-0. We defended well. Southampton did well themselves as well. They could have had goals. They made some good shots, but as you can see, just one chance created by Jan Valery, who went off on the hour. But 1 goal for us. Pogba on the hour, getting the goal for us. And that was it. It was an alright result. Like, we got the win, but it wasn't a great game. Like I said, Southampton went down to 10 men. Bertrand was booked twice in about 12-13 minutes. So he was sent off on 64 minutes. We couldn't really take advantage of it. Didn't get any more goals, but at least we managed to get the win. If we'd have drawn against 10 men, that would have been silly. And then on the final day, there's no other way of saying this, we thrashed Chelsea at Old Trafford. A 5-1 home win with Chelsea getting the early goal, but like it's happened before where we concede the first goal and then we absolutely run riot. 5-1 here, a hat-trick from Martial and 2 from Rashford. Really, really good performance from everybody. But yeah, like I said, we were behind. Abraham with a goal on 2.5 minutes to give Chelsea an early lead. And we actually could have had a goal before that. I think less than a minute, Kai Havertz was through on goal. We equalised in half an hour. Martial getting one of 3 goals. His second came from the spot. 43rd minute penalty. Put us 2-1 up before half time. And it took just 5 minutes of the second half for us to get a 3rd goal, Martial getting his hat-trick. And that was 3-1 or 51 minutes. And then Rashford got a brace in the last sort of 15-20 minutes, a 75th minute goal. And then a goal in stoppage time in the 92nd minute. A really good solo goal as well. Really good effort it was. And a 5-1 home win against a very disappointing Chelsea this season. Like I said, mid-table finish, I think 7th. But they were in the bottom half and they started really badly. And Lampard got sacked. I think Didier Deschamps there, and he may also have now been sacked. I'm not quite sure. But a huge win against Chelsea. So you can see the run that we've been on in the league. We dropped points against Spurs on December 5th. In fact, you know what? We haven't lost since October. Since Halloween was the last time we suffered defeat in the league, and it was one of only 2 losses. The first one coming on the opening day against Arsenal. We started this season terribly, but we've been on an absolutely insane run. Look at the consecutive wins that we've got as well, which ended with the Lyon defeat. And there were some extra time draws. A Carabao Cup final ended in penalties, but so much green. Like I said, very few defeats in any competitions. So we're going to go through the end of season awards then, and Pogba wins the fans' player of the season with a 74%, a landslide. Haaland got second with 12%, and Rashford got third with 8%. Pogba gets goal of the season for a goal against Leicester. He scored some long-range goals, because the strikers can't score one-on-ones, so you had to rely on long-range goals. Signing of the season was Haaland. Unsurprisingly, he was, I think, our top scorer, although Rashford almost caught him up, because Rashford played incredibly well towards the end. And also, Haaland, 20 years old, gets Young Player of the Season. Florian Andoni of Brighton was the top scorer. Haaland came third with his 20 league goals, Harry Kane second with 21. Haaland claimed the English Players Young Player of the Year award. That's impressive. Alisson gets Golden Glove. De Gea comes second for that one. We won the Manager of the Year, unsurprisingly. In the Team of the Year, wow, we've got a lot of players. We've got De Gea, Tuanzebe, Lindelof, Rashford, Pogba and Haaland also making the Team of the Season. Who won the Player of the Year then? If Haaland won Young Player, who won Player of the Year? It was Mohamed Salah, 19 goals in 27 appearances. But yeah, we're just going to take this time now to have a look back at our past couple of seasons and see what sort of stuff happened. So we're back in the first season here, you can see. And it was a Premier League title here. You saw the record points tally. The Cups didn't go too well. We went out at the first stage of the Carabao Cup, losing on penalties to Arsenal after a 3-3 draw after extra time. So that one didn't go too well. 5 out of 6 wins in the Europa League groups saw us face Red Star Belgrade in the knockouts, and then on to Wolverhampton, who we managed to beat just about on away goals. And then we got to the Europa League quarterfinals. We had another English team in Arsenal, which we just about managed to win, and then beat Atletico Madrid, in the semi-finals before a 2-0 win against Lazio in the Europa League final. I forgot we won the Europa League that season, actually. That's good. FA Cup semi-final, lost to Liverpool, so that wasn't... No, we got to a semi-final, that's okay. But to lose to Liverpool there, that was disappointing. It wasn't a great performance there. We really didn't turn up. Firmino and Mane scored. And the league, you saw how well we did. We dropped very few points. So that went very well in that first season. And then this season, it could have gone even better. We had some tremendous runs of form, but a couple of defeats, like the 2 defeats, Arsenal, and then the 4-0 defeat the Etihad against Man City. But some silly draws. We had a goalless draw against Brighton. We drew against Spurs. We drew 0-0 against Sheffield United. And there was a couple more draws in there. Liverpool was one. And a 2-2 draw against Norwich. So some silly draws in there. I mean, we could have equalled or maybe even bettered our points tally if we did turn some of those draws into wins. But still did really, really well. Champions League went very, very well. I wasn't sure how we'd do in that. But with Copenhagen, Real Madrid and Spartak Moscow, Real Madrid went out of the group stage and Spartak Moscow actually went through with us. So that was a bit of a shock. Made our way to the Champions League round of 16 where we got Marseille and we managed to win that. 3-0 win in France and then a 3-2 win at home. And then we drew another French side in the quarterfinals, Lyon, but that didn't go too well. They beat us 2-0 in France. We did get the win at home, but you saw the fluke away goal. You must have seen it. De Gea let a cross slip through his fingers and it went into the goal, and Lyon went through on away goals. So the Champions League this season didn't go well at all. FA Cup got to another semi-final, but Man City thrashed us 4-1, and the Carabao Cup this time ended in victory. We beat Spurs in the final, we beat Villa in the semis, we beat Wolves, and we beat Brighton, and we beat Bradford. So we won 2 trophies this season. We won 2 trophies last season. We could have had more this season. Like, the start of the season was dreadful. We lost 2 penalty shootouts in the space of 10 days, losing to Liverpool in the Community Shield after a goalless draw, and then losing to Napoli in the Super Cup after a goalless draw. 2 penalty shootouts, and in between those, we lost our opening day game against Arsenal. So a dreadful start to the season, but from then it just got better and better. So looking at the team then, David De Gea has, for the most part, been immense over these past 2 seasons. Not quite averaging 7, but conceding very few goals. 44 clean sheets over 2 seasons is insane. And he's conceded 47 goals in 2 seasons. Most goalkeepers will concede that in 1. He's done it in 2. Odd mistakes here and there, bit of mix up with some defence, but he's been amazing for the most part of the season. Diogo Dalot has been a superstar at right back. Wan-Bissaka has not had a great time. He's had some injuries here and there. So Dalot has probably played more than Wan-Bissaka. 46 appearances over the past 2 seasons. Got a couple of goals this year. Got 4 assists over those 2 seasons. And an average rating is 7.33 this season. He had a fantastic year, did the Portuguese right back. Wan-Bissaka was the main starter in the first season, but like I said, this season he's had a few injuries, so it's seen him not play as much. Still average over 7, got some assists, but 7 assists in that first season. Really, really good work by Wan-Bissaka. But yeah, you can see his injury history here, just how much time he missed. He missed 6 weeks with broken ribs at the start. He had 4 weeks out with an ankle injury, 5 weeks with a knee injury. He's not had a good time. At left back, Luke Shaw has been here for since 2014 for Man United. 40 appearances over 2 seasons, 7 assists, 2 goals. He's been very good as well. And this season, of course, we brought in Ben Chilwell for £40 million to give him a bit of competition. Because Ashley Young left. Ashley Young played a few games in the first season before leaving on a free transfer. I think he's at West Ham. And Chilwell was brought in as his replacement. Chilwell did very well as well, 7.37 average rating this year, 23 appearances, 1 goal, 2 assists. This guy, Axel Tuanzebe, has been a superstar over these past 2 seasons. I wasn't sure how much he'd play. He's been amazing. He's been so good. 47 appearances over 2 seasons. He came up with a goal and 1 assist this season, averaged 7.31. Some of the balls that he was winning were just absolutely incredible stuff. He was such a good defender for us. And then his partner, for the most part, Victor Lindelof, he got 5 assists this season in all competitions. He was fantastic. 34 appearances. I think he might have played more games than any other outfield player. I might be wrong though. 1 goal, 3 assists in the league, you can see. 2 very good seasons for us again. That meant that Harry Maguire played 1 game in the league this season. £80 million. He's played 1 game this season. So I don't know how much we'd get for him now if we sold him. But I mean, he just ended up being the 3rd wheel, or maybe even the 4th wheel, because Jonathan Tah came in and was good when he played. So Harry Maguire became the 4th choice centre-back. An £80 million 4th choice centre-back. Have you ever heard of that before? So yeah, Jonathan Tah came in for £42 million from Bayer Leverkusen, 19 league appearances, 1 assist, managing just over an average rating of 7. Good performance by him this season. And then we can't forget about players like Sergio Romero, who was here in our first season, played in the Cups and did pretty well. And also Mike Maignan this season, who played in all the Cup games as well and was very good actually, conceded very few goals. So the backup keepers have been good this season as well. Phil Jones got a dozen appearances before going to Leicester for £18 million. Didn't play too well, Jones. He's a meme nowadays, isn't he? But yeah, he wasn't as good as some of our other defenders. Same can be said for Eric Bailly as well. He only played 1 game for us before a couple of loan spells at Zorya and at Girona. So Bailly barely got a sniff of the first team when he was with us. Moving into midfield, let's go to Paul Pogba, the absolute superstar of midfield. 34 appearances this season, 33 last season. 23 goals over 2 seasons, 12 assists, 13 Man of the Match awards, Fans Player of the Season, and he did almost better than last season. Started a bit slower, but managed to get 11 goals in the end. Some fantastic goals in there as well, some long-range goals. And yeah, stunning season, stunning pair of seasons by Pogba. Vidal came in the January, just as a bit of defensive midfield cover, and he did okay. He got 6.86. He was pretty decent. Didn't really pull up any trees, but he's 33. Can't expect too much from him, can we? Andreas Pereira actually surprised me. He's not a player that I rate very highly in real life, but he did well. We got 4 goals last season, no goals this season, but 7 assists, averaging just a teeny bit better than last season. He surprised me. He was a decent player. Danilo Pereira was one of our very first signings. Initially signed for £30 million from Porto. Did okay. He got around the 7 mark, so that's pretty good. 4 assists this season as well. That direct style really helping us. And Pereira had some bad games, but had some really good games as well. Sandro Tonali was a January signing last season. Didn't get any league goals, but I'm sure he scored some other goals in other competitions. He got 1 in a cup game. And actually did pretty well in his first season. 7.28 in 11 league games. £15 million signing from Brescia. Didn't play too much this season. He got 16 appearances, but 10 of those were from the bench. Mata, a player that didn't really play too much. He got 24 appearances actually. He did well for a player that I wasn't really planning on using. It was only because he recently signed a new deal that he was kept around, because we couldn't force him out and no one wanted him because his wage demands were too high. So we were kind of made to use him, and he did well. A January signing this season, Kai Havertz, £92 million, the most I've ever spent on a player in Football Manager. Got a couple of goals in that half season, got 5 assists, was pretty good in that sort of number 10 role, playing behind the striker. He did well. Martial was frustrating at times. Last season, he was very, very disappointing. 6 goals. And he went about half a season without getting any goals or assists before finally coming good. This season, 14 goals in the league, 19 in all competitions. Much, much better, much improved season. Marcus Rashford this season has been unbelievable. 17 league goals, 23 in all competitions, 9 league assists, averaging 7.36. That first season again, him and Martial did not really deliver, but a bit of belief, and it looks like he's finally come good, and some interest from Chelsea as well. They never came in for a bid, but the interest was always there, and it might have maybe kicked Rashford on a little bit and made him have such a good season. Who knows? Douglas Costa was a summer signing this season, £45.5 million from Zebre or Juventus, whichever you want to call them. Started very slowly, but the second half of the season was much more improved. 13 in all competitions, including 5 in the Cups. He loved the Cup games. He scored, I think, in 5 consecutive domestic cup matches over the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, and also got 5 league goals as well. So improved in the second half of the season. Greenwood did well, 15 appearances this season, 4 goals, 4 assists. Injuries meant that he did play sort of here and there. Got a couple of goals last season as well, including some cup goals. 8 goals in Europa League as well. Some hat-tricks here and there. I think he got 4 in one game, I might be wrong. But Greenwood's done well, and I can't discount players like Tahith Chong from last season as well did well. Angel Gomez did well last season. They've been out on loan this season. But yeah, the youngsters have really done well this season as well. And then up front, Erling Haaland this season, the £29 million signing from Salzburg, 20 goals in the league, becomes the 3rd top scorer in the division, 24 in all competitions. Had some bad games, but he got some really good ones as well. I think he got 4 goals in one game as well. So a 7.50 for him. Really, really good by Erling Haaland. And then, of course, Cavani was the big player we signed in our first season. Got 19 league goals. Only managed 6 this season. He did kind of play second fiddle to Haaland. I think a few of those came from the penalty spot as well. So Cavani in his second season with us didn't do as well. He's going to be out of contract, so he's going to be leaving after a good couple of years with us. I don't think there's anybody I've missed out. I might be wrong though. I've mentioned Mata. Again, you've got some players that left us as well. Guys like Lingard who did well, but we kind of tried to get some money for him. We got 30 million for him, so that was good. Daniel James, another player that actually did really well, and then we tried to get some money for him. We got 18 million. He got 9 goals over a couple of seasons, and he was impressive. But we could have improved on him, and we did improve on him, so that's why he was moved on. That is the couple of seasons that we've had with Man United. I've really enjoyed it, and hopefully you have as well. So what have we got coming up? So over the next week, I'm going to be putting out a couple of preludes, I guess, prologues, I don't know what I'm going to call them, to my new series. My new series is called The Promotion Project, which sounds exactly like what it is. It's going to be a save. A journeyman save, not the one you're used to seeing though. Most journeymans start with you unemployed, in the real doldrums of European football, like the Croatian 3rd division or something, who knows, and you're working your way up to the top to eventually get to a top club and go for a major trophy like a Champions League. This one's going to be a bit different though. We're very much going to be staying at the same level, because the idea with this is that we are going to try and get as many promotions as we can with several different clubs. We may return to clubs, we may stay in one country, we may go abroad. I haven't even decided where I'm starting yet. If you've got any suggestions, do let me know, because I've got no idea where I'm going to start. I might start unemployed and see what job I can get, but I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. But the promotion project will be starting very soon. I've just got a few bits to prepare for it, like an intro and all that stuff. I've got music for it. I just need to try and make some sort of intro, which I'm not very good at. It's definitely my weakest point when it comes to content creation, is making an intro. But yeah, that will be starting very soon. And like I said, next week there'll be a couple of videos coming out in the next week or so, looking at a couple of people that have sort of inspired me to do this save. One of them is England's most successful manager at winning promotions. I think you might know who that is. if you've seen my Twitter. And the second one is another king of promotions over in Portugal. So there's going to be a couple of sort of career retrospectives of those two people, and then the new save will be starting just after that. So hopefully you'll like the sound of that, and if you do, then make sure you check it out, subscribe, and you'll be notified hopefully when those go out. And of course follow me on the socials as well. I'll let you know when I'm recording videos and when videos will be going out, so follow me on the socials as well. But that is it for the deal with the Devils. It's been an enjoyable save. It has. Like, Man United, one of my most disliked teams in football, but it's been an enjoyable save. So hopefully you've enjoyed it as much as I have. If you did, drop a like down below, leave comments. If you haven't done so already, or if you're new, do consider subscribing and turning on notifications. And I will see you very soon. Like I said, a couple of videos coming out over the next week. No Football Manager gameplay, but it's going to be me talking basically. And also go follow my second channel, because I'm playing Death Stranding over that, which I'm really enjoying, and I'd love to get some more eyes over there. So if you haven't seen my second channel, the link's in the description, so go and have a look at that if you're interested in a bit more sort of variety gaming. Like I said, I'm playing Death Stranding at the moment. Took a little bit to get into, but it's starting to get good, so do have a look at that. I'm going to end things there, guys. Thank you for watching. It's been too long. I think I've been recording now, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the save as much as I have, and I'll see you very soon with what's coming next. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.